Imagine paying $49 million for a player who rarely shows up when it matters most. That's been the Clippers' reality for the last 5 years with Kawhi Leonard. Charles Barkley warned everyone, saying the best ability is availability. But few listened. Now injuries, drama, and even a lawsuit have the Clippers wondering if they made the wrong choice. And here's the twist. Kawhi might be done as a superstar. By the end of this story, you'll see why Barkley was right and why Kawhi's future in the NBA is on shaky ground. Kawhi Leonard was once one of the best players in the NBA. He was known for his defense, clutch plays, and quiet personality. With the San Antonio Spurs, he won an NBA Finals MVP. Then he went to Toronto and led the Raptors to a championship. Kawhi was at the top of his game, and the Clippers saw him as the key to winning their first title. In 2019, the Clippers signed Kawhi to a massive deal. They built their team around him, giving him everything he needed. He got rest days, a strong medical team, and a $90 million contract. But there was one big problem. Kawhi didn't play enough games, and Charles Barkley noticed. Barkley said, "The best ability is availability."
Kawhi Leonard, but you can't rank him if he's not playing.
Is he a great player or not?
He was,
No.
but he ain't played.
Played 68 games last year.
And the best ability is availability.
Spell it.
You see, almost made me curse you out there.
He wasn't wrong. Since joining the Clippers, Kawhi has missed almost half of their games. At first, fans hoped he would get healthy and lead the team to a championship. But as time went on, the injuries piled up, impatience ran out. In 2021, Kawhi played great in the playoffs, but then he hurt his knee. He missed the rest of the postseason, and the Clippers lost in the conference finals.
Injuries are injuries, and they're legit. It's just that what amazes me about Kawhi Leonard is that he's always just healthy enough right around the time he gets paid. And then the second he gets paid, he's always injured.
Fans started asking if Kawhi was worth the risk, but the Clippers stuck with him, hoping he would return to form. Fast forward to 2024, Kawhi missed most of the playoffs again, and now he's sidelined indefinitely. Fans are frustrated, but it gets worse. Kawhi declared himself ready to play for the U.S. Olympic team just 2 weeks after sitting out. Many people, including Clippers management, were confused. How could Kawhi be too injured to play for his team, but ready for the Olympics? This raised even more questions about his commitment to the Clippers. But the drama didn't stop there. In October, a former Clippers strength coach filed a lawsuit against the team. He claimed the Clippers rushed Kawhi back from an injury, ignoring medical advice. According to the coach, Kawhi needed 2 full years to recover, but the team brought him back in just 16 months. The result? More injuries and more missed games. This lawsuit added fuel to the fire. Fans began to wonder if Kawhi's injuries were caused by poor management or if he just wasn't built to last. Either way, the Clippers' gamble was looking like a massive mistake. Meanwhile, NBA analysts started to question Kawhi's legacy. Stephen A. Smith called him the worst superstar in sports history.
Two-time champion, a 2-time NBA Finals MVP. The brother is a big-time basketball player. Jay, this is not a discussion about his skills and how elite he is. This is the worst superstar. I can make a case this is the worst superstar in the history of sports. He is a nightmare. You're talking about the first 4 years of his time with the Clippers, he's averaged 40.3 games a season. 40.3. He played 68 games this past year, and then again, he wasn't available for players. Do you know that Kawhi Leonard hasn't been available for 15 of the last 19 Clippers playoff games?
He argued that Kawhi doesn't promote the NBA, doesn't connect with fans, and doesn't even market himself. Unlike other stars, Kawhi prefers to stay out of the spotlight. But this quiet personality, once seen as unique, is now viewed as a problem. Fans feel disconnected from Kawhi, and some even think he doesn't care about the team. Charles Barkley added to the controversy by leaving Kawhi off his top 50 NBA players list.
God, you didn't have Kawhi Leonard ranked
He didn't play basketball
only because of injury.
Yes.
I'm gonna stop it, Chuck.
Dude, he ain't played in 3 years.
You just disrespecting people.
Wait,
now.
he played in 3 years.
He did play 68 games last year.
Thank you.
And he didn't play in the playoffs. Yeah, I know.
And so you want me to put him on there this year and he's already out?
No, I'm not saying you had to put him in.
I love Kawhi Leonard, but you can't rank him if he's not playing.
Barkley argued that Kawhi can't be ranked if he doesn't play. Fans fired back, pointing out that players like Joel Embiid, who also missed games, were ranked high. But Barkley didn't budge. He stood by his statement, saying availability matters more than anything else. Despite all this, the Clippers have managed to perform well without Kawhi. Early in the 2024 season, they had big wins against the Denver Nuggets and Golden State Warriors. Players like James Harden and Norman Powell stepped up, proving the team could win without their star player. This raised a tough question. Do the Clippers even need Kawhi anymore? Trading Kawhi might be the Clippers' best option. His trade value is still high, but if his injuries get worse, they may lose the chance to move him. The team faces a big decision. Trade him now or stick with him and hope for the best. But patience is running out, and fans are growing tired of waiting. The tension reached a peak during the unveiling of the Clippers' new arena, the Intuit Dome. Kawhi was present but wasn't introduced to the fans. Many believed the team skipped his announcement to avoid boos from the crowd. Others saw this as a sign that the Clippers were ready to move on. The Intuit Dome represents a new era for the team, and some think it's time to leave the Kawhi Leonard experiment behind. Adding to the frustration is Kawhi's lack of engagement. He doesn't promote the team, sell merchandise, or connect with fans. For someone making $49 million a year, this feels like a missed opportunity. Kawhi doesn't seem interested in being the face of the franchise. He just wants to play basketball. But as Charles Barkley said, what's ability without availability? So what's next for Kawhi Leonard? Kendrick Perkins suggested retirement, saying Kawhi's health might not hold up much longer.
And I think it's about that time to have that uncomfortable, tough conversation. This is not a hot take, but when you think about his history and you think about now and everything that Legs just alluded to, 6 months and it's still problems with his knee, right? And every single season it's a problem when it comes down to Kawhi Leonard health. He needs to sit down at the round table, not only with the Clippers organization, but his family as well. I really think Kawhi Leonard should consider retiring.
While this idea upsets some fans, it's becoming harder to ignore. If Kawhi can't stay healthy, his career might end sooner than expected. The Clippers must decide if they're willing to wait or if it's time to move on.
We've had 2 chances here with the Clippers, 2 chances. And for whatever reason, the big guy in the sky didn't want us to get there.
Right.
Injuries. I've never seen anything like this in my life. In my whole life, 2 players the caliber of you and Kawhi can't play half the season. I mean, it's crazy.
Here's the truth. Kawhi Leonard's injuries and lack of availability have become too much for the Clippers to handle. Charles Barkley's warning wasn't just an opinion, it was a prediction that's now coming true. Kawhi's talent is undeniable, but his unreliability has made him a burden for the team. The Clippers have options. They can trade Kawhi and start fresh, building around younger players who can deliver consistently. Or they can keep hoping he'll return to his old form, knowing the risk of more injuries. Either way, a decision is coming, and it could define the future of the franchise. As for Kawhi's legacy, it's complicated. He's a 2-time Finals MVP and one of the best defenders the NBA has ever seen. But his career is now overshadowed by injuries and questions about his commitment. Fans and analysts are divided. Is Kawhi Leonard still a superstar, or is his time at the top over? What do you think? Should the Clippers trade Kawhi Leonard, or is there still hope for a comeback? Let us know in the comments. And if you thought this story was wild, you won't believe what Michael Jordan had to say about Anthony Edwards. Click here to find out why it's lighting up the Western Conference.